Are you concerned that they're going to sit on these assets and not move them? Like, are you concerned that they don't believe they need to rebuild?
No, because it doesn't matter to me one way or another if they rebuild or they don't rebuild. So I'm not concerned. And I'm not being an a-hole. I just look, so many teams are looking for defense, centers, and secondary depth scoring, right? So if we're talking about the three principal assets here, and I'm sure there are other pieces that Conroy has to be willing to talk about, that's the tricky part of being a manager, to be fair. Look, go to Vancouver and the Quinn Hughes blockbuster to the Minnesota Wild. Vancouver with Jim Rutherford and Patrick Allvin made an educated call that the interest and the trade value in Quinn Hughes was not going to get better than the package they got for him at the time they made the deal. So that's why Craig Conroy has paid the big bucks. So if he feels like there's a deal for Blake Coleman from Montreal or another team, or a deal that makes sense on Anderson, or a deal to a top contender for Kadri that makes sense, well, it doesn't matter if we're talking about it in early mid-January or if we're talking about it coming out of the Olympic freeze. He's got to make that call. But given what I know about the market, and again, I go back to Vancouver because of Kiefer Sherwood. Vancouver's a bit confused that there's a level of interest in Sherwood, but the offers aren't as good as they would like or need them to be to make that to make that trade right now. And that probably applies to the players that we're looking at in Calgary as well.